You're doing this wrong if you think the reason you can't let go is because you're still in love. Research from the University of Washington shows that 71% of anxious avoidant couples stay emotionally stuck long after breaking up. Not because of passion, but because their nervous systems are still reacting to each other like old wounds that won't heal. I see this with my clients every day. They check their ex's social media at 2 a.m., rehearse texts they never send, feel that jolt in their chest when a certain song plays. By the end, you'll understand exactly why neither of you can truly walk away. Because this isn't about love anymore. It's about two people using each other to avoid facing their deepest fears. It starts with feeling you can't shake. Not the butterflies kind. The haunted kind where their memory follows you into new relationships, new cities, new versions of yourself. You've tried to move on. You've dated other people. But something keeps pulling you back. The anxious partner replays every conversation, convinced that if they'd just been calmer, less needy, things would have worked. Meanwhile, the avoidant tells himself they're fine, totally over it, while secretly scanning for signs you're still thinking about them. Neither of you realizes you're not clinging to the person. You're clinging to the role you played in each other's story. When an anxious partner can't let go, it's about completion. You learned early that love was conditional and inconsistent. Maybe your parent was emotionally available only when you performed well, praised when you got straight A's, ignored when you needed comfort. So your brain wired itself to believe that love requires constant effort and proof. Now, as an adult, you chase people who recreate that uncertainty because your nervous system literally mistakes anxiety for attraction. That knot in your stomach when they don't text back, your body reads that as passion. That relief when they finally reach out after days of silence, your brain releases dopamine like you just won the lottery. You're not crazy. You're conditioned. But the avoidant can't let go for the opposite reason. You represented both the threat and the cure. At first, they felt safe enough to let you in. You were persistent, warm, reassuring. They let their guard down just enough to feel hope. But when you got too close, when you started needing consistency, their entire system screamed danger. Every text felt like pressure. Every relationship talk felt like control. They pulled away not because you weren't enough, but because you were too much of what they'd always wanted and feared. Think about it. They could handle you when you were chasing, but the moment you asked, "Where is this going?" they suddenly remembered they needed space. Here's what neither of you realizes. You're not holding on to each other. You're holding on to the fantasy of being healed by someone else. The anxious partner believes if I can just be perfect enough, patient enough, I'll finally be worthy. The avoidant believes if I can keep them at the perfect distance, I can have love without the pain. Both of you are trying to use the other person to rewrite your childhood. And that's why you can't let go, because letting go feels like giving up on the only solution you've ever known. As time passes, the anxious partner starts noticing the pattern. You're scrolling through old photos, and you realize this isn't the first time you felt this pull. There was someone in college who did the same thing, hot and cold, made you feel special, then disappeared for weeks. Before that, maybe a friend who only called when they needed something. Different faces, same dynamic. You're drawn to people who can't fully choose you, because unchosen is what feels like home. Your love was actually protest behavior. Every late night, call trying to fix things. Every attempt to prove your worth. These weren't expressions of healthy love. They were a child's desperate plea. Please don't leave me. Please see me. Please prove I'm enough. The avoidant starts noticing their pattern too. They meet someone, feel excited, let them get close. Then the person wants more intimacy, and they panic. They find flaws. Suddenly their laugh is annoying. Their texts are too long. They're too available. They create distance through work, through friends, through silence. They convince themselves the person isn't right. Then they leave or push so hard the person leaves. A client once told me, "I've ended 5 relationships the exact same way. I tell myself each person was wrong for me, but what if I'm the problem?" They realize they're not protecting themselves from bad people. They're protecting themselves from anyone who wants real intimacy. They think about you more than you'd imagine. Not in the longing way you think about them, but in the what-if way. What if they hadn't run? They remember specific moments they felt safe with you. That morning you made them coffee without asking. The way you listened when they talked about their day. How you didn't judge them when they finally opened up about their family. They remember the moments before the fear kicked in, and that memory haunts them because they know they destroyed it. One of my clients said it perfectly. I miss her most when I'm with someone new because I realize what I threw away. Months later, neither of you has fully moved on. The anxious partner might be in a new relationship, but when someone treats you well, consistently shows up, part of you feels bored. Your nervous system doesn't recognize stable love as real love because it doesn't come with that anxious charge. You compare them. My ex would have texted me back immediately, forgetting they'd also disappear for days. The avoidant might be single or casually dating, but no one feels right. They meet someone interested, and within weeks they feel suffocated. They meet someone more distant, and they feel neglected. Loneliness creeps in during quiet moments. Sunday mornings when there's no one to share coffee with. They wonder if they let the right person go. Here's the realization that changes everything. You can't let go because letting go means accepting that the love you gave wasn't enough to change someone. For the anxious partner, that feels like proof of your deepest fear, that you're fundamentally unworthy. For the avoidant, letting go means accepting that their fear won, that they're lonely not because no one wants them, but because they can't let anyone in. That realization is devastating. But here's what most people don't expect. The moment you understand why you can't let go is the moment you actually can. When the anxious partner realizes I'm not holding on to them, I'm holding on to the belief that someone else can fix my worth, everything shifts. You see that no amount of their validation would have filled that hole. The hole was there before them. It was created when you were a child learning that love was conditional. You start doing the work your inner child needed. You begin to reparent yourself. When you feel the urge to text them, you text yourself instead. You write down what you're feeling. You sit with the discomfort instead of trying to fix it. By reaching out, you prove to yourself that you won't abandon you, even when others do. Slowly the grip loosens, not because they change, but because you stop needing them to. For the avoidant, the realization is equally transformative. I'm not protecting myself. I'm imprisoning myself. They see that the walls they built to keep pain out also keep love out. Their independence isn't strength. It's fear dressed up as self-sufficiency. Some avoidants use this awareness to begin healing. They go to therapy and actually do the work. They learn to sit with discomfort instead of running. They practice staying when their instinct is to leave. Others double down, convincing themselves they're better off alone, never realizing they're running from the only thing that could save them, real connection. If you're still holding on, ask yourself this. Am I holding on to them, or am I holding on to who I'd be if they loved me the way I needed? Because the person you're trying to become, the worthy one, the chosen one, you can become that right now without their validation. You don't need them to come back and pick you to prove you're valuable. You already are those things. You always have been. The most loving thing you can do is let go, not of them necessarily, but of the belief that they hold the key to your healing. They don't. They never did. That key has been in your pocket the whole time. The moment you realize why you can't let go is the moment you discover you already have everything you need to be free. This is why you can't let go. Not because they're your soulmate, but because letting go means facing yourself. It means looking at the patterns you've been running your whole life. It means accepting that the work you need to do isn't out there with them. It's in here with you. And that work is hard and uncomfortable and lonely sometimes. But it's also the only way out. The only way to stop repeating the cycle. The only way to finally, actually, truly be free.